The tow truck lights flashed again at 5:42 a.m., right outside my bedroom window. By the time I pulled on my shoes, the hook was already lifting my truck. No knock, no warning. Just steel chains and a smiling driver who said, HOA order. That truck wasn't a luxury. It was my livelihood. I installed fiber lines for a living, and without it, I didn't work. No work meant no pay. And this was the fourth tow in 2 months. The HOA claimed my truck ruined the visual harmony of the neighborhood. White paint. Small logo, parked legally on the curb. I followed every city rule, but the HOA board didn't care about city rules. They cared about control. At the next meeting, I showed ordinances, registration papers, even photos proving compliance. The HOA president leaned back, folded his arms, and said, "This isn't about law. This is about standards." The room went quiet. Something clicked in my head. Standards meant opinions, opinions meant power. And power always leaves fingerprints. Instead of fighting, I started digging. Not into bylaws, but into land records. I wanted to know one thing: who actually owned the road my truck kept getting towed from? What I found didn't make sense. The street wasn't listed under the HOA. It wasn't listed under the city either. It was floating in paperwork limbo, tied to an old development company that dissolved years ago. That night, I kept digging. Old filings, asset transfers, quiet acquisitions. Eventually, one name kept coming up: an infrastructure trust that bought forgotten parcels no one bothered to claim. I made a call, then an offer. 36 days later, I owned the street. I didn't announce it, didn't post signs, didn't say a word. I parked my truck exactly where it had always been. 3 days later, it was towed again. That was the moment everything flipped. I paid the fee, collected the paperwork, then sent a certified letter to the HOA with one attachment: the deed. My phone rang before sunset. The president's voice wasn't confident anymore. He said there must have been a misunderstanding. I agreed, and I fixed it. New signs went up overnight. Private road. Parking by authorization only. I authorized every resident, except the HOA board members. The first board member to test it got towed before sunrise. The second tried the next night, same result. Lawyers called. The city declined to interfere. The tow company verified ownership and followed instructions. An emergency HOA meeting was called. They asked what it would take to make it stop. I named a price. Not revenge. Resolution. Market value for the road. Reimbursement for every tow. Lost wages. Legal fees. They paid. A month later, the street was officially transferred to the city. Now when I park my truck out front, no one says a word. Because sometimes the fastest way to end a power trip is to buy the road it's standing on.